The Mystery of BELICENA VILLCA. Fourth Book. Quest for Uncle Kurt. Chapter 18. As you will imagine, Nifetero, just now, at reading the letter of BELICENA VILLCA, I have achieved to comprehend such reference made by Conrad Tarstein, about that his family constituted the Germanic branch of the House of Tharsis. Evidently, he was one of the descendants of the Brunaldi of Tharsis, and, according to his posterior confidences, which were very moderate in regard to this theme, was also the last sign of his house. But, I'd not know to say if with it, he wanted to say the last initiate, or was really alluding to that he represented the last member of his lineage. But, one thing is true, that the prophecy of Captain Kiev, that BELICENA VILLCA translates in the day 50th of her letter, had been strictly fulfilled, because the Order Reinhardt not only administered the Hyperborean initiation to the Führer, but some who belonged to the branch of Brunaldi from the House of Tharsis. What an honor! He had been next to the Great White Chief, declaring the total war to the potencies of the matter. Because the Hyperborean wisdom of that lineage, of that blood of Tharsis, will cause the first advent of Envoy of the Lord of War. Yes, Echero, the prophecy of Kiev was fulfilled mathematically, and there's no reason to doubt about the second prediction, referred to the offspring of Valentina at Tharsis, won't be fulfilled too. That's to say that the mission of BELICENA VILLCA and his son Noio must have success to propitiate the second advent of the Führer. That lineage of Tharsis, what a glory theirs! Will participate actively in the final battle. Because the Hyperborean wisdom of that lineage, of that blood of Tharsis, shall cause the second advent of the Envoy of the Lord of War. BELICENA VILLCA, the last initiate of the offspring of Valentina at Tharsis, has been murdered by the Druids. But, his son Noio, according to all the indications, has achieved to carry out his mission. Thus it is, Echero, how near are we from the final battle? How close is the second advent of the Führer? The essential war will be fought once again, over the earth, and liberator gods will return to guide the awakened men towards the infinite origin of the eternal spirit. Oh, Echero, your presence, and the message of which you are keeper, has closed a circle in my life, opened for more than 40 years ago, and has returned me the faith in the ideals of the Black Order. For it, I'll never stop to give thanks to you. Come Uncle Kurt, come I begged. Is not me, to whom you must be grateful, but to the gods, those mysterious brothers of race that have guided us towards the triple coincidence between BELICENA VILLCA, you, and I. It is clear that all we participate from the same story, we perform roles in a same libretto, we are personages of a same argument. You must finish to tell your life to try, later, to plan the actual form of our movements, to be adjusted to the great strategy at the gods, which undoubtedly wait something from us, and for that reason they've gathered us, to not commit irreparable mistakes. You're right, Nif. But we will proceed tomorrow, because time has passed without noticing it, and now the 2 am. I'll only add one thing about the strange reference that Tarstein did of the mystic madness of Rudolf Hess. I advance you that, indeed, when my Teppert decided to realize his historical flight and hurl himself on parachutes in England, his act can't be qualified in another way than madness. This from the politic perspective, and even military. But, different will be the opinion of who observes the facts with esoteric perspective and idiotic. Because the madness of Rudolf is analogous to the madness of BELICENA VILLCA, when she decided to develop a tactic of distraction to enable the movements of his son Noio. She knew perfectly that her act was very risky, that it would attract the persecution of the Gauleans, and they would enter capture and execute her. She knew it, and nevertheless, not hesitated to act, to sacrifice her life, to make triumph the strategy of the loyal gods. In the same way, Radulf gives himself to the Druidic Gauleans of the Golden Dawn Order, it means, to his representative, the Galeen Duke of Hamilton, because he proposed to distract the enemy, to favor the movement of the Führer. What would gain the Führer after the madness of Rudolf Hess? well, an adjective humanly invaluable. After the capture of Rudolf Hess, the Druids would be incapable then to open a door towards Shambhala in England. They would remain isolated from the abodes of the traitor gods and the White Fraternity, and only from Asia could re-establish that contact. You will wonder why such effect was produced, in virtue of what power Rudolf obtained that miracle, and I'll anticipate you that it happened by his mere presence, thanks to the sign of the origin that he, just as you and me, were keepers without noticing it. Thus was Nif. And afterwards, I'll narrate you with details the real esoteric operation that meant the travel of Rudolf Hess to England, fact that has been stupidly interpreted after the war. But much before tomorrow, perhaps, you'll know the doctrine that the Black Order sustained about the power of the sign of the origin. We went to our rooms in the highest silence, each one immersed in our own thoughts. I, of course, didn't leave from the amazement at checking in what perfect way fitted the stories of BELICENA, VILLCA, and Uncle Kurt. And I didn't stop wondering, how would end such adventure, now that undoubtedly would count with the support of Uncle Kurt, to search the son of BELICENA, VILLCA.